The first OHV Jamboree of 2018 is coming right up. And today on At Your Leisure, we're giving you a preview. I'm Chad Booth. Join Ria and me as we hit the trails at this amazing event and show how you can join us for the adventure in just a few weeks. Then, Steven Heumann finds out how a hook and ladder may be your next favorite off-road adventure. How does that even work? Well, he'll show you. From there, Jordan Wayment takes out of Polaris with all the creature comforts, and these East Coast kids learn about Western public lands. It's all on AYL next.
Okay, wow. Now that's a rock formation that I've never seen before.
I think I know why they call this trail the Enterprise Pinnacles, i.e. pinnacles.
Well, that might indeed be the case. Hi everybody, welcome to At Your Leisure today. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Rossi Booth. And we are in between Enterprise, Utah and Hurricane, Utah. And we are
a very, very crooked line.
It is. And we're on the Enterprise Pinnacle Trail, which is absolutely beautiful and unbelievably diverse as far as like geography. It's amazing.
If I had to take a wild guess, I would guess that these are the Enterprise Pinnacles behind us, because they definitely are pinnacles.
And we're with the State ATV Jamboree, and we're also with Stedman's from Tooele. And they said, hey, how about we do something different? You know, what I love about this trail is just the diversity of it all. I mean, you know, we started down, there was all the little juniper pinions and the rocks and the volcanic rock that we saw, that volcano over there, that was amazing. And then look at this, we have these pinnacle rocks. I mean, it really is different, very different for Southern Utah for me.
Well, rather than just here and talk you through this whole thing, we're out with Greg and Denise Thompson from Stedman's Recreation. And they kind of put the challenge of saying, hey, why don't we go do something different? So this is way out of their league. It's way out of our comfort zone. And so we're kind of exploring together. But rather than just talking about this exploration, why don't you come explore with us? Let's find out about it.
Well, this trail is called the Pinnacle Trail. It's in the Enterprise Reservoir area, and we made a big loop out of the main road from Vail to Enterprise Reservoir, and we made a big loop out around there and ended up at Enterprise Reservoir. What's unique about this ride is the formation of the pinnacles themselves. They're made out of a unique kind of rock that's not prevalent in this area. Everything in St. George is red rock. And in this area, it's a different kind of rock. It's a different color and texture. It's more of a granite type of formation.
There's lots of different terrain up in this area. There's some of the red rock formations. One of the nicest things is that we get views of different areas. As you go over the trail, you have access to outlooks on multiple sides of the mountain ranges here, so that you get to see a lot of different terrain. The Tri-State ATV Club puts on a jamboree each year in March. There are 23 different rides that people have access to, which covers a lot of different area here, a lot of different terrain. It runs for 3 days.
Every year it grows by 500 to 1,000 people, and they put on all kinds of activities out at the fairgrounds.
They give us an opportunity to get together, to learn from one another, to socialize with one another. People who enjoy this kind of activity like to get together. Very friendly, wonderful people. That's the best part about it. And Southern Utah, the desert area, has a beauty all its own.
The thing that I enjoy most, of course, is getting outdoors and riding my four-wheeler, and just sharing the experience with my wife and with others too.
Come on, Ria.
Woohoo!
All right, well, you know, if there's a boulder, one must climb on it. And down here on this trip today, there have been boulders everywhere.
I know, you're never too old to boulder.
I have been wanting to do this all day long. It's like, oh, that would be a fun rock to climb on. Oh, that would be a fun rock to climb on. Oh, that would be a fun rock.
Well, it just calls to you when you're traveling out here.
I know, check this out. They're almost like nature's concrete because you've got these solid rock formations and there are little pebbles of different stuff in the middle of them.
So you can grab onto it.
Well, we're gonna turn from here and head to our travel adventure for the week. We're gonna spin the dial of the west and find out exactly where it points.
Well, thanks guys. I'm Steven Heumann, and right now I am in the wilds of San Juan County. Let me turn this off real quick. There we go. And I am on the Hook and Ladder Trail. This is a really impressive area. We're going to show it off to you today. There's just beautiful terrain, lots of red rock. It's definitely unique. So how about you come with me and I show it off to you now.
Hook and Ladder Trail is an awesome intermediate, there's some expert lines as well, but mostly sandstone, but you get a good mix of sandstone and sand, so it's a great trail for all ages. It's a Razor or ATV trail only. Motorcycles are okay, but no Jeeps. The sandstone out here is just really, really grippy, so you can climb hills that are way steeper than you could normally climb in the dirt.
Hook and Ladder Trail is a collection of routes that spider through the red rock landscape north of Monticello, Utah, right off Highway 191. Dallin Tate, manager of Four Corners Adventures out of Blanding, took me out to explore what is just out of view as you drive past in your car. Instantly, the views command attention as almost every environment imaginable can be seen from different corners of the trail. White-tipped mountains tower over a rippling world of pale stone that is speckled with green. Bluffs form a ridgeline to look up to and down from, depending on which part of the trail you take. The scenery is so impressive it pushes everything else out of your mind, and even if you could get cell phone reception out here, no call would be able to pull you away from the feast that is before your eyes.
If I had forgotten my phone, I wouldn't have cared. Honestly, it's in my pocket, but I haven't pulled it out once. I'd rather be doing this instead of staring at a screen, so.
Look at just right here, just a regular curve in the trail, and you've got mountains over here, and then you've got a view all the way to Highway 191 over here, and it's just like everywhere you turn on this trail, there's just different types of terrain and different beauty.
The view is as diverse as the terrain itself, which moves from slick rock to long straightaways to difficult drops and technical sections, all within 5 minutes. And since there are so many offshoots, you can find exactly what you're after at each fork in the road. The system itself is very well marked and easy to follow, with signs pointing you toward your preferred skill level wherever a spur branches out from the main line. The ATVing may be your focus here at Hook and Ladder, but there are more adventures available in the area than just the four-wheel drive set.
There's a lifetime of adventure out here. We've got canyoneering, rock climbing. We do San Juan River trips down on the San Juan River, which is really unique. What makes this area unique is the archaeology and the rock art in the area. Almost all of our tours focus around seeing the rock art and the ruins that are about 1,000 years old.
It's wonderful when we're able to find a new trail that carries with it a new experience. Here on Hook and Ladder, that's exactly what you get. Something fresh and different that inspires you not only to explore here, but to ask the question of what is just over the horizon.
Hook and Ladder is a really unique trail, great for all ages. If you haven't ridden on slick rock, it's a good place to get an introduction to it.
I'd say come out. I mean, I've had so much fun here just in one day. I don't want to go back, honestly. If I could stay here forever, I would.
Now, Hook and Ladder Trail is really easy to find. It's right off of Highway 191, about a half-hour north of Monticello. Now, Monticello offers plenty of hotels and other activities. It's the perfect base camp if you want to come out and explore this area. And as we've shown you today, Hook and Ladder is absolutely spectacular. You need to come out here with your family. Well, I'm Steven Heumann for At Your Leisure. We need to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have this week's product review.
Introduces the newest ways to explore the water. Load up all your gear, catch some rays, grab a bite to eat, crank up some tunes, and tons more. Every day we just go, baby, don't go. Every day we just go. Sea-Doo, escape the everyday. Every day we just go.
In a place that is beyond words, there is nothing to be said, except take your time in Bryce Canyon country.
Meet the new leader in off-road utility, the completely reinvented Ranger XP 1000. It's got the most power, the largest towing capacity, the highest ground clearance, and the best comfort and storage. Introducing the all-new Polaris Ranger XP 1000, the hardest working, smoothest riding Ranger ever built.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Jordan Wayment, and this week's product review, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the brand new, fresh off the truck, 2018 Ranger Crew Cab HVAC. And this machine looks awesome, and let's go test it out and have some fun. So the first thing that I really notice about this thing, it is so easy to drive. I can use my fingers, and I just put my finger here and I can turn with my fingers going over rocks or bumps or anything. I can just use my finger and it's so smooth. The cool thing is with it being so long, you can actually still have a lot of clearance with it. Surprisingly, when you're driving over logs and over some of the rocks, it's like, oh, I was scared I was gonna bottom out, but I didn't. The Polaris Ranger is the workhorse in the industry. This has 1,000 cc's, it's a 4-stroke twin-cylinder motor, it's got electronic fuel injection, and it's liquid cooled. Now on the front suspension, we have a dual A-arm with a coilover shock that gives you 10 inches of clearance. And that's great for these longer wheelbases for going over rocks or logs, and it's exactly what you need for hunting or just going out and having fun on the trail. Now on the Polaris Ranger, you have your standard dump bed that you have on a lot of the different models with both grab handles or a dump handle on each side so you can dump from either side. Here's the motor right here. It's the 1,000 cc motor. It comes pretty standard on a lot of your Rangers, but the reason why is because it gets the job done. This is a very powerful motor. You can haul up to 1,500 pounds and you can tow up to 2,000 pounds. That's the same as most mid-sized trucks. The rear suspension is a lot like the front. It's got the dual A-arms with the coilover shock, gives you the 10 inches of travel. And so, when you think of a Polaris Ranger, you just think, oh, it's just kind of like all the rest of the Rangers, but there's 16 different models of Rangers. And what's different about this one is it comes standard with the full enclosure cab. This is the real deal here. This is the hard shell with tempered safety glass all the way around, and you can't really appreciate it until you're inside. So let's go check it out. All right, first thing, as you can notice, as always, in the Polaris Crew, it's very spacious and really comfortable. You can fit 6 people in here and have plenty of leg room, super comfy. But the cool thing is what I first noticed is when I'm in here is this whole thing is covered in this fabric. It absorbs all the sound, so like rattles and everything. The cool thing is you can be flying down the road, going over bumps and going fast, and you can have a normal conversation with your passengers. You don't have to yell and scream at them anymore. You can actually talk to them. So this fabric is a nice luxury, but what also is really cool is this one already comes standard with your climate control. You have your fan speed, and you have your hot and your cold, your defrost for your windows. So this is a really great machine for your friends and family all year round. Hopefully that'll get you excited for 2018. Go check one of these out at Steadman's Recreation in Tooele, right there on Main Street. That's been this week's product review. I'm Jordan Wayment, and we'll be back with more At Your Leisure right after this.
I'm about ready to enter a time machine. Now, it's not an episode of Doctor Who, it's an episode of Doctor Where. In 7 hours, I will be in summer, and you could too if you had an RV or a travel trailer from Ray City RV on Riverdale Road. As a matter of fact, if you go in there right now or go to raycity.com, you can enter to win this vacation I'm taking to Pirates Cove in Needles, California. Ray City RV, Utah's low price leader since 1946.
The 9 to 5 here is 5 to 9. We earn our scars. We wear our work ethic. We work until the work's done. And when it is, there's a family to raise, a neighbor to check on, a country to feed. A few hours of shut-eye to rest up for tomorrow, the day will finally get something done.
Our trailhead segment today is sponsored by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. That's that great place where you can order all kinds of accessories for your ATV or your motorcycles, and they'll ship it right to your door. Just go to the Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com website.
Look south to adventure. Look south to beauty. Look south to San Juan County. Out here, the road goes on forever, and what you'll find will change how you see the world. Climb on your OHV and discover forgotten landscapes and vistas that challenge the imagination. From Blanding and Monticello to the cliff faces of Monument Valley, we're open and ready for you to explore. San Juan County, Utah's Canyon Country.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We are cruising around out here on Enterprise Loop, and I'll tell you, this is so green and beautiful. I can't believe that this is the same trail that we started out on.
All right, so for you backseat botanists who are out there on the ride today, this has actually been kind of fun because we started with some in the lowlands with grasses and cottonwood trees along riparian areas, and now we're working our way up through the pinyon juniper. We've been in heavy PJ forest, some really freshly grown lava. You know, the cool part about this is that this is a section of Utah that I've never actually traveled before. So it's a space a different way from St. George to Enterprise, right. And I didn't know it was here. And so every turn has just been an exciting adventure. And it's been the same way for Greg and Denise, who travel a lot. Let's find out their perspective about being outside the comfort zone.
So what are you excited about today, Greg?
You know, new places to see. We were out here yesterday, saw some really cool stuff. And this will be a little different trail today, and I'm just excited to be here.
Utah is a very diverse state, so just in and around us, there's so many different things to see and experience, and I think you can see different types of geography. It's interesting to kind of think about how did this happen, what caused the formation of this particular thing. It was very different than what we saw yesterday, so it's just kind of interesting to think about, well, why is this different, and why are the colors different? And I just think it's always interesting. It keeps you wanting to go different places and experience different things.
You know, it was neat today. It's amazing how we didn't really go that much farther, but the scenery was completely different. These are good times to be able to get out and kind of think about something besides work or pressures of life. It's just kind of a nice, relaxing kind of a thing to do.
The riding itself was quite easy, but the landscape was pretty diverse. It's early spring here, so you're kind of seeing the earth just kind of start to wake up. So we focused a lot on the rocks around us, so a lot of your eyes and attention was really drawn to the rocks and the pinnacles. I enjoy just being out, being away. My job is, I have a fair amount of pressure and a lot of different things to think about. So when we're outside with my husband or friends, it kind of is a chance to really relax and enjoy and talk about different kinds of things and really reconnect with a different part of your life, and to relax and just do something different and think about different things. And remember, for me, because I've spent a lot of my life being on ATVs, it's kind of reminds me a lot of the things in my life that have really good memories for me, and it brings a lot of that back for me.
It's good to get out and do different things and work on different skills. It's always good to see something different, and in a day like today, we met new people, and that's always a lot of fun.
It's kind of fun spending a day on the trail with somebody you don't get too often because you learn a lot about them. It's funny how things just come up in conversation with Greg and Denise.
I know.
And especially when none of you know what you're in for.
I think that's the funnest part. It's new to all of us.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Until we get to here.
You've been here before.
Correct. As a matter of fact, I actually brought you up to the campground just across the way. The very first season of Boat World, some 25 years ago, we shot in our first season right here at Enterprise Reservoir with people from Gulfstream Boats. And if we were here during that year, you and I would be underwater.
So the rock we're sitting on used to be underwater?
Yes, actually, it used to be a little light spot just under the surface. You could actually stick your head out of the water and stand on the rock.
Oh, fun.
Indeed. Well, right now it's time for us to turn to our trailhead adventure. Now, public lands have been an issue really ever since we started doing this show. It's part of the reason we started this program, and they still continue to be an issue today.
Public schools and public lands. Both are open to everyone, but other than that, the two don't intersect very often, particularly on the East Coast. Now, for those living east, the public land debate can be extremely abstract and difficult to really grasp. In a place where pretty much everything is private, arguments over off-road vehicles, trail access, resource development, and wilderness have little to no context. One school program in Vermont is changing that. Each year, an issue is chosen, one that affects the entire nation. Students from different high schools then travel across the country to personally interview, study, and document the problem and its varying solutions. This year, they chose public lands and came to Utah to get a better look.
Our goal is to just think beyond their world that they're in at 14, 15, 16, to just start thinking about issues that really are real and happening. It gives us a reason to listen to people and learn about the area.
I read some articles, but I was pretty open-minded when I came.
For these teenagers, the trip has been eye-opening. It's hard to grasp the vastness of the West from photographs and descriptions, or discover the impact of wilderness areas and land closure on rural communities from thousands of miles away. Each student interviews individuals on both sides of the issue, from county commissioners and public officials to representatives of the Blue Ribbon Coalition and the Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance. From there, they'll take photographs and video and edit them together and tell a story about the conflicts from their own unique perspective. The scale of some of these issues and their diversity caught some of these students off guard.
Honestly, I wasn't that surprised because I figured in such a gigantic space there's going to be some issues, but there were more than I expected.
After reading the information, I was aware that there was a lot of conflict and definitely it's a hard topic to deal with.
You can't just fix everything. There's no simple fix for anything. And I understand that's difficult, and you can't just, everyone needs natural resources like the oil and whatnot. Everyone needs power and energy, so it's difficult to work around.
No student really ever comes away thinking this is right, this is wrong, this is how it should be, because they're always such huge topics.
The issues themselves are only part of the program's purpose. Taking kids out of their normal environment and introducing them to the wider world can have a powerful impact, not only on how they see the beauty of different landscapes, but in understanding cultural differences, even in our own country.
I was surprised by how willing some people were to talk to us, and then how others avoided us. And then I was also surprised by the landscape, of how drastically it changes in such a small amount of time driving through the state.
I think it's beautiful. I think it looks like another planet.
It's a lot bigger and hotter, a lot hotter, but the landscape is beautiful. I mean, it is in Vermont too, but this is just so different and colorful compared to Vermont.
Public lands. It's an immense issue with nuances and arguments stretching the entire political spectrum. These teenagers now have a better understanding not only of what the contention is all about, but what is at stake as well. Their final projects may just reveal ideas on how the next generation will answer these questions.
They'll finish up their shorts on the road, so in the next 4 days they'll finish up their shorts, editing and all the production stuff. And then when we get back, last year we showed them at a theater and just invited anyone who wanted to come.
What I'm making my short about is the idea that it's up to the younger generation. It's going to be their problem, so I'm doing my short about that.
I hope that they'll see my short and will obviously want to visit, and want to visit with an open mind.
And those open minds could help change the public lands debate altogether. From the Trailhead, I'm Terry Wood.
Living in Utah, we're lucky we can enjoy riding our recreational vehicles year-round in the mountains, at the dunes, rock crawling, or road riding. Stedman's Recreation has Utah's largest selection of Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, and Beta machines. See them all at Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. Need a tune-up, new tires, or accessories? Stedman's Service Department can help.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
Introducing the lightweight shot starter, only on the 2018 Ski-Doo mountain sleds, with next generation engine and platform. For the unmatched power and handling to own the next ride. Ski-Doo. What matters is what's next.
Save up to $1,000 plus 0% for 36 months.
All right.
All righty.
Okay,
You all
that's
strapped
all
down,
done.
ready to roll? You got some tools here?
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Tool time? Tool man?
I wonder what we could use that one for.
That looks like something my dentist uses.
Ow! Give that back, it's sharp. Well, right now what we want to do is talk about a sticker winner.
Okay, Natalie Large sent us this photo of an AYL sticker on her UTV, and she's walking away with a $400 gift certificate from Rifab, where she will have her pick of some of the best side-by-side accessories on the market.
Congratulations, you guys. You guys look like you like to have lots of fun in the outdoors.
And remember, you can sign up to join us on the Tri-State OHV Jamboree at thetristateatvclub.com. The event is coming up March 14th through the 17th.
Okay, I guess we should look at next week's show now because I'm getting really hungry.
I know, let's go.
Where can you skydive, surf, and rock climb all within 30 seconds of each other? Well, we're finding out next week as we hit one northern Utah destination that puts the outside indoors and takes the sting out of winter. From there, we'll hit the dunes and discover why sand and sun never go out of style. All that and more in 1 week on At Your Leisure.
Well, next week's show looks great, as usual.
Yes, indeed. My question is, though, you know, you always end up a ride. You want to find a good local place to eat, which everybody said this is the place at Vail Pies. They got pot pies and barbecue and pie. My question is, Greg, Denise, why were we walking away from the restaurant when our intent is to go in? Exactly. Thank you for joining us. You're the reason we walked out here, and the food's the reason we're going to leave you behind unless you want to join us right now. Remember, there is adventure around every bend, so it's up to you to get out and make your own adventures
At your leisure.
We'll see you guys next week. Guys, thanks. Come on, let's go.
How about if I just tiptoe like this?
I can't see you.
I don't know if you can get me up.
I can get you up.
In this Tri-State ATV Jamboree, frick. Oh,
We are with
crap.
Greg and Denise.
Had them on the whole time.